In this video, I will not only give you permission to give up, I will also share my 4-step framework on how I evaluate every project I want to give up on. I'm guessing you have projects lying around that you want to get to, but haven't found the time to do anything about. So this is not about just being more productive. It's more about freeing up some energy and some time by letting yourself give up on projects that is not adding any value to your life. So I'm sitting here at my son's sports center drinking coffee, and I was thinking about this, and I'm waiting for his handball match to start. Handball is a pretty big thing here in Denmark. I know it is not in the US. Actually, I think it's one of the disciplines that the US have never won any medals in the Olympic Games. And we have won a couple over the years here in Denmark. So it's a pretty big thing. So I was going to take some time out to talk about this. So the thing is that projects will take up both physical and mental space, even if you're not thinking about them actively or working on them actively. So if you have a project lying around and you have just put it aside, you will encounter that if you have tools or materials or stacks of paper laying around, and every time you see them or you have to move them to get around them or find something that is hidden under them, you will get reminded. Also, if it only takes up mental space, you will remember this in brainstorms, you will dream about it, you will talk about it. It will come up and it will take mental space for you. So if you have decided just to put things aside for now, it will still be present in your life. So what we're talking about here is actually giving yourself permission to let the project go completely. Giving yourself permission to not talk about it and deciding that this project is not going to happen. Not that you tell yourself that it might happen in 10 years or when the kids move away from home or if you get fired, or you have to let go completely. And you have to forgive yourself for giving up on a project. So we're not talking about being more productive or getting more things done. We're actually talking about letting things go and freeing then up some time that you can fill with whatever. Usually things will just flow in, but you will also give yourself the opportunity to be more focused on the things that you actually do want. And I have sort of like a popcorn brain that comes up with new ideas all the time. That is why I've developed this 4-step framework to decide whether a project is going to go or if I can allow it to stay. So the first 2 ones might seem fairly simple, but the 2 last ones are more profound. So the first one is if your project is aligned with your vision. So if you don't have a vision for your life or whatever, this is going to be a challenge for you, and you have a task ahead of you. I don't have a clear vision I've written down for my personal life. I do have for my business. In my personal life, it's something about being present with my kids, earning enough money so that we are safe and secure in our home and have a lot of enough spare to have some good vacations and visit a theme park once in a while. I want to be a good veterinarian, and in all things combined, I want most of the time to be fun along the way. So that is sort of where my vision is, and I don't have it more clearly defined than that. But it's sufficient to take a project and look at it and see if it aligns with my vision. So you might have projects lying around that you thought were, or maybe once were, aligned with your vision. And this actually happened to me, where I had a recording of an old theater project that I had laying around from back when I was in university. It was a recording of an 8-hour-long theater play that needed to be edited down and then published to all the participants. And I've had the recording lying around for years, and I actually had an idea of how to edit it down, but it will take me quite some time, maybe a complete month worth of time working full time to edit this. And this doesn't align with my current vision. It's not going to give me more time with my kids. Actually, the opposite. There's no money in it for me anyways, or the earning potential is very low. And it's not going to make me a better veterinarian. It might touch on being fun because I really like that project. But looking at the project now, it doesn't align with my current vision of what I want my life to be. And so even though it's fun, I had to let this go, and I felt so much better afterwards. So looking honestly on what your vision for your life, even though you don't have it completely squared away and written down, is the first step. The next step is resources, and it's usually just time and money. So if you don't have time, you can spend money, and if you don't have the money, you can spend your own time. So I was going to edit this, and I'm not good at editing, but I'm dangerous enough to make it work. But I would have spent way too much time on this project. I could also pay someone to do it. And if I had all the money in the world, I probably would. But given it was such a big material, it was not going to be a good idea. So evaluating if a project is actually within the capabilities of your resources, whether that's time or money or maybe energy or whatever, is also a hurdle your project has to pass in order for you to allow yourself to keep this project. For the next 2 points in this framework, I've debated which one to take first because they're actually quite important and they carry sort of equal value. But I've decided on this one first. The third point is going to be process. What process are you willing to set up and are able to set up for this project to be good for you in the long run? So in the case of the video editing, it was a finished project and I didn't need a project for that or a process for that. But I'm in the habit of starting new websites. I've been building websites for 15 years now or even longer. And I've had it as my main online income for 9 years now. And starting new projects, blogging, affiliate marketing and setting that up has been a very a fun source of motivation and excitement and also some money over the years. But with the recent Google updates, most of that has just gone out with the toilet water. I have the 2 main projects left where I'm not relying on Google's traffic alone, and I'm working on those. But as an example here, I have a list of at least 20 new websites I can start, but I don't have a process in place where I with certainty can say that this project is going to be successful or at least somewhat successful. So with all the Google nonsense going on and has been going on for the last 2 years, the process I had wasn't working anymore. And you can ask yourself whether the project that you want to start, what kind of process will you put in place for you to learn along the way or to make sure that you can improve on your process and improve the project over time, so that you don't have to every weekend, what am I working on? Or if you forget half a year later, you haven't been working on that project at all, and it just again takes up some mental time. So actually getting in touch with reality and putting some points on a paper on what type of process you want to put in place is the third hurdle that your project needs to go through. The fourth point is potential. So does the project have potential for you in the future? It could be earnings potential. Can you actually make money from this? But it could also be a learning potential. Is there a new skill hidden in this, and you just need a project to motivate you to learn this new skill? And maybe you can use this skill in another fashion in another time. So, of course, I can always get better at editing, but I don't need to learn that as a skill right now, and it's not going to make me a better veterinarian, and it's not going to make me a better dad anyway. Also, learning how to build websites, I'm fairly confident I can do that somewhat good. I've done that, as I said, for over 10 years. Of course, I can always learn more, and it will increase my learning potential, but it's sort of becoming diminishing returns on my effort there. So what I decided for this channel, and I've talked about this before, is publishing on KDP, Amazon with KDP, and I've actually made the first sales, a couple of sales, and I will be sharing more on that here on the channel. But that is a skill I've wanted to test out and I wanted to learn. So there's both potential to earn some money, even though I haven't have sold some books, but I haven't made any money yet. It's not a positive return on investment yet. But I'm learning along the way, and it does have the potential to maybe earn some money down the road. Not that I'm sure it will, but it does. And you can ask yourself with your project, what is the potential for this? Are you just doing the project because you think you have to, or your family wants you to, or your peers or your boss said you should do it, but you don't really want to do it, and it doesn't clear any of these hurdles I've talked about? You might need to consider to get out of that project altogether, or just give yourself permission to give up completely. And if you want to see the secrets behind that Amazon KDP and see if I actually make any money, you should go and watch this video.